Schick mir bitte ein Foto von deiner neuen Couch.
Jetzt?
Jetzt.
Okay, warte, ich mach kurz eins. Zum Glück gibt's den magischen Radierer beim Google Pixel. Ich hab sie geschickt. Hol dir das Google Pixel. Engineered by Google.
Was not received particularly well, and it was promptly taken down. With over 500 hours of content uploaded to YouTube nearly every minute, there is bound to be some pretty weird and wacky stuff on this platform. This YouTube iceberg lays out some of the weirdest things YouTube has to offer. So if you clicked on this video, you probably already know how an iceberg chart works, but just in case, basically the higher up entries on the iceberg chart are supposed to be like pretty common knowledge, pretty well-known facts and information relating to YouTube. You know, stuff that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg. But the farther down the entries on the iceberg are, the more obscure and like mysterious they're supposed to be. So, where did this iceberg come from? Reddit. Yeah, I'm just as disappointed as you, but it doesn't stop this iceberg from being interesting nonetheless. Why don't we take a look at this iceberg and try and identify and find all the entries on it. I'm gonna get some of that Minecraft gameplay going to help lighten the mood because things are gonna get kind of weird. Here we go. Nursery rhymes. So what I think this entry on the list is referring to is just the copious amounts of really weird, like nursery rhyme YouTube videos aimed towards kids on YouTube. So of course on YouTube you've got a lot of normal nursery rhyme videos. We're talking like these kind of like educational music videos that are aimed towards kids to like help them learn stuff. But for some reason there's also this kind of like subgenre of these nursery rhyme videos that are just super weird. Like this subgenre of nursery rhyme videos we're talking about here are usually categorized by their super low budget and like super low effort look to them. They typically hold very little educational value, if any at all, and a lot of the time they are like barely even what could be considered a nursery rhyme. Like a lot of the time it's like barely even music.
Lion, lion.
And despite all this, some of these videos garner absolutely huge amounts of views. Basically, it's just really weird. Mobile game ads. YouTube kind of has this tendency to give people really weird and really misleading ads for mobile games. Sometimes the ads for mobile games YouTube gives you are just super low quality and super low effort and make no sense. And sometimes the game the ad is advertising for looks nothing like it does in the advertisement, and it's just super weird and really stupid. Logan Paul's Suicide Forest. Back towards the end of 2017, popular YouTube vlogger Logan Paul went to Okigara Forest in Japan, a forest known to have many people kill themselves in it. Basically, Logan Paul went to this forest and filmed a dead guy in it. But not only did he just film the dead guy, he put it in one of his vlogs and uploaded it to YouTube. Believe it or not, the video was not received particularly well, and it was promptly taken down, though in a lot of ways the damage had already been done. Logan Paul received a lot of deserved criticism, and the whole situation made a lot of news headlines, and the whole situation was just really messed up and terrible. Looking back on this whole thing, though, it really was just kind of a road bump in Logan Paul's career, considering he's still on YouTube. Nowadays, he's making Pokemon card unboxing videos. Bot. So this entry on the list is a little bit random, but I'm pretty sure it's just referring to just bots you can find on YouTube. I think this entry on the list is probably specifically talking about like comment bots. You know how sometimes if you go into the comments of a YouTube video, there'll be commenters that are not actual people, but they're just bots, and they usually say just really stupid and like meaningless things. The Odd Ones Out is a furry. So The Odd Ones Out is a pretty popular storytime animation YouTube channel. His videos are pretty alright, though I guess there's been a little bit of a rumor floating around recently that The Odd Ones Out is a furry. I guess people often cite the fact that he has a $1,000 fursuit head that has made a lot of appearances in his videos and like pictures on social media, and that he talks about furries a lot in his videos a lot. So is The Odd Ones Out a furry? There are some people out there that are super convinced The Odd Ones Out is a furry. Though if you ask me, he's probably not. Just straight up, he probably isn't. If you ask me, I think The Odd Ones Out probably finds it kind of funny that people call him a furry, so he just kind of plays into the joke because it's funny. Though with this kind of stuff, you can never be too certain. Furries are a weird breed out there, and you never know what they're gonna do. Fake claw machine videos. So on YouTube, there's a pretty big genre of videos that are centered around claw machine games. These videos are usually about people winning prizes and stuff out of claw machines, and the thumbnails and titles of these videos would lead you to believe that the people in these videos are legitimately winning prizes from these claw machines. Although much of the time, these videos are pretty much fake. A lot of the time, the people in these videos aren't like going out to an actual arcade and winning prizes from actual claw machines. What often happens in a lot of these videos, though, is people will have their own like personal claw machines that they have total control over. They can like control the likelihood of them winning a prize out of, and they'll make it look like it's a legit claw machine at an arcade, when in reality, it's just like their own personal thing that they have total control over. YouTubers threatened on the dark web. There are a lot of things this entry could potentially be referring to, but I'm pretty sure this is kind of a joke entry on the iceberg. On YouTube, there's a pretty big genre of videos about people basically pretending to be abducted by people on the dark web, or like buying mysterious things off the dark web or whatever. These videos are often like super clickbaity, and they're aimed towards kids a lot of the time, and they're super stupid. And I think this entry on the list is kind of making a joke about it. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe there was a YouTuber that was legitimately threatened by the dark web. I don't know though. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is a pretty popular series on YouTube. The series kind of like parodies the likes of Sesame Street or the Muppets, and the whole series kind of tells this really vague story that many people like to theorize about. It's a pretty good series. There isn't really anything legitimately mysterious about it, but it is pretty cool. Soup.avi. So this entry on the iceberg refers to a pretty mysterious video that's been uploaded on YouTube under many different names, although the most popular upload of the video is called blankroomsoup.avi. Basically, the video shows this man sitting in a pretty blank room eating soup while these weird two costumed figures approach him from behind and like start patting him on the back while he's crying. There are many rumors as to where this video originates from and what its true meaning is. Some people like to claim that this video came from the dark web and the man in the video is being held hostage by the two costumed figures. Although this is an interesting theory, there is pretty much no evidence to back it up like whatsoever. The characters in the video are known as Ray Ray, and they are the creations of the American animator and director Raymond S. Percy. Ray Ray have appeared in a lot of Raymond S. Percy's personal work, such as like stage shows and a couple of like videos on YouTube that were made by him. According to Raymond S. Percy, the costumes were stolen from him after a performance on the Hollywood Sunset Strip in the early 2000s. Raymond S. Percy has been reported to claim that the Soup.avi video was made by the people who stole the costumes from him, and the video was sent to him as kind of a weird fan letter or something like that. Whether or not this story is true is inconclusive, so make what you want out of this monstrosity of a video.
Suicide
Mouse. So,
Suicide
Mouse is this pretty old creepypasta about this like lost Mickey Mouse cartoon that caused people to kill themselves after watching it. This has led a lot of people to like pretend to upload this lost episode of Mickey Mouse to YouTube. It's a pretty, it is what it is. It's Salad Fingers. Salad Fingers is this like flash animation series on YouTube. It's pretty good. It's about this weird green guy named Salad Fingers and the weird desolate wasteland world that he resides in. It's pretty spooky. It's pretty good. User 666. So on YouTube, there's a channel called Nana825763 that has a video on it called Username 666. The video shows this guy going on YouTube and trying to search for a channel called 666, but only to find that the channel has been suspended. Eventually, though, the guy in the video starts like reloading the page to see if he can find the channel 666, and as he starts reloading the page, YouTube begins to get more and more distorted and weird, and eventually, after reloading the page enough times, the YouTube channel 666 does appear. The guy in the video then goes on to click on the YouTube channel 666 and watch some of the videos on it, and believe it or not, some of the imagery in the videos are really weird, and then there's a jump scare, and then the video's over. So, I mean, this obviously kind of goes without saying, but, this video isn't real. I mean, the channel that the video User66 is on has a lot of other content very similar to it. Lots of other YouTube videos that are supposed to be, like, spooky and scary. What's interesting about this video, though, is for a long time, if you were to try and visit 666's YouTube channel, YouTube would give you a message saying that this channel has been terminated. Nowadays, if you try and search for 666's YouTube channel, YouTube will tell you that this page is just unavailable. So, there is a little bit of a mystery surrounding like what the YouTube channel 666 was and why it got deleted. Petscop. So Petscop is this like YouTube web series, and it's about this guy named Paul who finds this like long lost PlayStation 1 game, and he does a let's play of it. But as Paul plays through Petscop, he starts making these like weird and spooky and scary discoveries about Petscop, and it's all very mysterious and scary, and there's a lot to Petscop. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty cool ARG. There's a lot to it though, so I'm just gonna leave it off here. Russian YouTubers killed by government. I am not 100% sure as to what this entry on the list is like specifically exactly referring to, but I have an idea. So basically there's this pretty much dead YouTube channel called FPS Russia that once made videos about showing off like different types of guns and firearms and what they were capable of doing. The YouTube channel's owner, Kyle Myers, had a partner named Keith Ratliff who would help him obtain all the firearms and guns in the videos. Where this gets weird though is in 2013, Keith Ratliff was found murdered in his very own gun store. Due to the nature of how he was shot, a suicide was ruled out, and this has led many people to theorize on who shot him. And one of these theories is that he was killed by the government. Apparently, a lot of people think that the Obama administration feared how big FPS Russia had gotten, and since, the Obama administration wants to take everyone's guns away, they went out and killed Keith Ratliff. Of course, take this conspiracy with a grain of salt. It is literally an Alex Jones conspiracy theory.
The founder of SPS Russian, the biggest gun show in the world, tied up at his offices, he's a gun manufacturer, and shot in the back of the head execution style. Tied up in a chair, expertly, shot in the back of the head.
What's weird about this entry, though, is it specifically says Russian YouTubers killed by government. And what's weird about this is Kyle Myers and Keith Ratliff were not actually Russian. They would just put on a Russian accent in their videos as like a joke. So maybe this entry on the iceberg is like talking about something completely unrelated, where an actual Russian YouTuber was killed by the